Hello, hello. If you're here, I'm assuming you're new to macrame and you want to know where to begin. Well, you're in luck because in today's video, I'm going to share with you 6 knots that will take you from beginner to pro with practice. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Sheena Joy and I'm a macrame textile artist. I've been doing this for several years now, pretty much since I was a kid, and my goal is to teach you how to macrame right now for free right here. So if that's your jam, please consider subscribing. Now, let's get into it. Now, before I go ahead and demonstrate those knots, I thought it would be a good idea to just touch base about rope. When you're new to macrame, you're going to be tying and retying and redoing and untying and retying, and you're going to be practicing so much that it's probably going to shred your rope. So I don't recommend using high-end, expensive macrame cord. Now is not the time to invest. What I do recommend though is clothesline rope. Now you can buy this at Walmart or any local hardware store, and it's just a less expensive option for you to practice on. So clothesline rope. Now another option that I recommend for you to practice with is t-shirt yarn. It is also less expensive than macrame cord, it's easier to find, and it comes in so many different colors. My final recommendation is jute. I got mine at my local dollar store. See, I paid $1.25 because I'm Canadian and that's how we roll. So another cheap, inexpensive option is jute. However, my only warning is it's a little rough on your hands. Okay, so let's get to tying these knots. The Larks Head knot is often the very first knot that you will tie in your wall hanging. And really, it's so easy, it's almost like a glorified loop. So to tie this knot, you would find the center by folding your cord in half, take the loop end and place it over top and behind your wooden dowel, take your tail ends and place it through your loop, and pull it tight. So like I said, this is oftentimes the very first knot you will tie on a project. Okay, so for a square knot, we need 2 Larks Head knots already on our wooden dowel because we require 4 cords for this knot. With your leftmost cord, place it over top and across your other cords. Then take your rightmost cord and place it over top of your left, underneath, and then through the loop you formed with your left cord. This is half of your square knot, and it's kind of like tying your shoelaces. We're just tying a regular knot over top of our 2 center cords. So tighten your slack all the way up to the top, and to complete this knot, we're going to take our rightmost cord, place it across all our cords, then take our leftmost cord, place it behind and around and through our right loop. So basically, it's the same thing we did for the first half, only it's on the opposite side. And that's your square knot. Now if you take this knot and you stack a whole bunch on top, you get a square knot sinnet. Now to tie a spiral knot, we need 2 Larks Head knots because we need 4 cords, just like the last one. And just like the last one, you're going to place the leftmost cord all the way across, then take your rightmost cord, place it behind and through the loop of your left. Then tighten up your slack just like before. And you're going to love this, because we're going to do the same thing we did and take our left side, place it across, then our right side behind, and then through our left loop. So this is kind of like a square knot, only we're only making loops on our left side. However, unlike our square knot, we have to do this several times for the spiral to start taking shape. I like to use this technique sometimes in place of wooden beads for plant hangers. Now this one takes a little practice. We're going to start off with several cords, and I'm going to take my leftmost cord and I'm going to use that as my filler cord. Next, I'm going to take the next cord in line and I'm going to wrap it around, forming a loop. Then I'm going to repeat the same process and take the same cord and wrap it around again and through the loop. And that is a double half hitch. But we're going to carry on in this row. I'm going to take the next cord and do the exact same thing. So you wrap your cord around to make a loop, And then you're going to repeat the same thing, wrap it around and through the loop to complete your double half hitch. Now check out what it looks like when I complete this entire row. So we get this really neat line that goes straight across. But what's really cool about a double half hitch knot is that you can kind of create any shape you like. So I'm going to go ahead and take the same filler cord and I'm going to place it across at an angle. Then I'm going to make my double half hitch knots just like I was doing before, but I'm going to go back in the other direction. The real trick here is in your filler cord, because the angle that you hold it, that is where your guide is going to be and how your knots are going to fall. I recommend lots of practice with this one. Now this one's one of my favorites. We're going to start off with a single Lark's Head knot. Then take a separate cord and place it behind your filler cords. Make a loop on your right, then place the right side of the cord over top of your filler cords, around and through your loop. Then just cinch it up a little bit so that it's taut. Then repeat the same process. You're going to take your right side of your cord and make a loop. Wrap your tail end around and through the loop. And of course, tighten up the slack. Now if you repeat the same process several times, this is my favorite way on how to make feathers. Also, you can make some really complicated patterns like this dog portrait. Check out my vertical double half hitch playlist where I share many patterns like this one. Alright, so in some cases you want to gather up all your cords together and tie them in kind of like a ponytail. To do this, grab a separate cord, I'm using the t-shirt yarn, and form a small loop on one of the ends. Then grab the long tail end and you're going to want to gather your bunch together and wrap it around and around until you get down to the bottom of your loop. While you're wrapping, make sure that it's snug, because if it's loose, you're going to have your gathering knot slide up and down on you. Okay, so once you reach the bottom, you're going to take your tail end and you're going to fish it through that loop at the bottom. Next, you're going to take the small tail end that's up at the top and you're going to pull it. By doing this, it secures your gathering knot and hides your ends. Just be careful not to pull it all the way up to the top. Next, snip off the excess cord. And I like to use the end of my scissors to really help hide the tail ends. Now you'll find this knot most commonly used for the bottom of plant hangers, as well as the top. Now that you know these 6 basic knots, I'm confident that you can tackle a good 90% of macrame projects. But don't get me wrong, there's still lots left to learn. So feel free to check out my knot tutorial playlist. I'll leave the link right here on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye.